So it looks like the XRP bear market cycle is coming to an end. I'm going to show you guys how this has played out historically in the past, what we're watching for to happen next, and how I will be taking advantage of this myself. Obviously, not here to give you financial advice, but we are here to provide some education, some entertainment, and we do it every single day, covering current events, financial markets, and the greatest transfer of wealth in world history. My name is Zach Rector, and I hope that you guys appreciate our content. If you do, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's break down what's happening in these markets this Monday morning. It is June 22nd, 2026, and we have Japan intervening in the currency market again, is what this looks like to me. I'm going to zoom in on this chart so you can see here. On the 1 hour chart, we had this wick down to 160.9. Then it ran right back up to 161.9. And then it's now dropped back down here to 161.2 as I record this update, just about 8:30 on the West Coast, 11:30 a.m. Eastern as we're recording this update. So we've had somebody come in here and somebody stepped in, and I think that we're going to get some reports here in the next 24 hours or so that indeed was the case. But we warned about this. I talked about this with my Discord group over the weekend about how this once again brings us back to that carry trade unwinding. If it starts to get too aggressive, it can lead to a steep sell-off in the crypto and equity markets. And in fact, I broke down what happened last time this happened in August of 2024 with my Discord group, specifically how Bitcoin and XRP performed. And I'm going to show you that here at the end when I match it up with some of the technical analysis on where we're at on that XRP chart. So stay tuned for that. Elon Musk, SpaceX falls 10.5%, erasing over 250 billion from its market cap today. So, back down to $165 per share. A lot of people are going to get caught holding the bag on this IPO. Let me know in the comments down below. Did you participate in this IPO? Are you, what's the move on this one? Because it looks to me like this was just a perfectly coordinated exit liquidity IPO for early investors. And it created a real retail frenzy. And I think that it kind of topped us out for, a short-term top on the stock market. I really do think that was kind of the moment. We get this peace deal. We were about to drop the hammer. President Trump calls it off. Let's set the stage for our largest IPO in the history of our capital markets, right? And then we get a peace deal. Now we have a ceasefire that's supposed to carry us so we can celebrate 250 years of America, which I'm looking forward to. But the fundamentals here, right? The valuations that we have, right? Is this real? I think that we're about to find out. And I think you guys know how I feel. I passed up on investing in SpaceX while it was private. I thought that it was already expensive then. This thing, well orchestrated, well done, nice IPO pop, but now it's starting to get wiped out. And this is exactly why I didn't buy into that IPO. But speaking of stocks, what we are excited for is increased democratization, which kind of gets thrown around. And not everybody that tells you they're democratizing finance actually has your best interest or is going to actually create products that actually work. But the effort here can definitely be seen, and we're starting to make some real progress on tokenizing stocks and bringing access, even to pre-IPO opportunities to the non-accredited. It's exciting, but we have a lot of work ahead, according to Hader, who is from OKX, creator of the OKX brand. And this is a partnership. New York Stock Exchange owner ICE is teaming up with OKX for tokenized markets. Now, he says right here, there's a lot of work ahead to bring issuer-based tokenized equities to market, but this is an important step towards that journey, and we are excited to be partnered up with ICE and the New York Stock Exchange to make this happen with regulatory clarity and minimum or zero counterparty risk. Now, the difference here is you have issuer-based or native stocks, which is the stock issuer is issuing directly on the blockchain. No wrapper, no SPV, no synthetic claim, one-to-one with voting rights, everything included. They actually put it on chain, right? This would be issuer-based, and this is exactly what OKX is working on. Now, what has expanded access for now, but has also got caught up. I mean, there's a bunch of people that thought they were buying a synthetic, wrapper version of the SpaceX IPO, and they might have been trading a token that claimed to be a SpaceX share, right? but it wasn't necessarily the case. And we also saw a bunch of people who just didn't get their IPO shares on some of these secondary markets and platforms that have been created. Right? And so this is where wrapped stocks have come on chain. Now, in this case, Custodian is going to hold the real shares and they issue a token representing economic exposure. A little bit further down the line, you have SPV, special purpose vehicles, or synthetic shares. And this is where an SPV gets created, maybe a limited liability company. And one share of that SPV or that company is supposed to represent a share or multiple shares of the stock, right? It's basically like a private version of an ETF, essentially. And we've seen here, and this is where it's going to be interesting to see with the Anthropic IPO, OpenAI IPO, and we've even seen it with Ripple, right? With these SPV wrappers, these synthetic wrappers, and other various wrapped structures that these shares get put in. It's a step in the right direction, but ultimately what we want is the issuer-based stocks on chain, and that is what OKX is working with the New York Stock Exchange right here. So very excited to see that progress. Now, which chain are they going to choose? The data tells us, and we just did a video on this, the XRP Ledger is leading that charge right now over the past 90 days. So XRP Ledger leads RWA tokenization with 1.9 billion of inflows in the past 90 days. This is ahead of Ethereum, Stellar, BNB, Solana, Avalanche, Say, and Mantle. We're ahead of everybody over the past 90 days. And according to Luke Judge's middle management at a bank called Ripple, which I like that bio, Luke, that's a good one. Luke says we've added an extra billion, give or take, since this update. So we'd be approaching about 3 billion of RWAs in the past 90, 120 days or so. So in the past few months, we are leading this charge, and I'm excited to see, issuer-based stocks arriving on the XRP Ledger. Looks like we're, leaning in that direction. A lot of the regulatory stuff has to be sorted out and finalized. Clarity Act provides some of that. And then this gets done where you would be buying the SpaceX. I mean, they already have it on Solana, but like I said, a lot of that is done by issuers that people don't trust. You can bring all these assets on chain, but if nobody trusts the issuer, right? If you don't trust the person that created the SPV, right, we're not going to get activity. That's not where this ends. Where it ends is issuer-based stocks actually arriving on chain, one-to-one ownership, fully backed. Same thing with precious metals coming on chain, right? One-to-one backed. You want to take physical delivery of the tokenized gold or silver? That's available as well too, right? That's where this needs to go. And in fact, that's what our sponsor, iTrust Capital, has already done with precious metals. We partnered up with them because it's a IRA product for your retirement funds to get exposure to digital assets. Primarily, that was the reason why we partnered up with them. But they also have precious metals as well too. And if you want to take physical delivery of it, you can. So you can keep it in their free institutional grade custody, or you can take delivery of it. They can send you your precious metals. They can send you your crypto. At the end of the month, they'll be able to enable withdraw in kind out of the premium custody account. But for now, right, what a fantastic solution for folks that are new to cryptocurrency, for folks that have been here for a while. They have 3 different products: the IRA, the premium custody account, and the treasury account. I just created my PCA. It literally took me 10 minutes. I recorded a tutorial on my YouTube channel. You guys can check that out if you need help. But take advantage of the deal that they're running right now. Use my link down below. Get a $100 funding bonus after you get your account funded. But I talked about this yesterday. I did a little Father's Day update about the agentic economy, and we're talking about AI agents starting to actually transact value. See, this is all coming together with RWAs and the tokenization bringing value on chain, and then we start to see the liquidity flow between those assets and XRP. And then where it goes one step further is it's not just us trading, transacting, staking, and liquidity pools here and delegating over there. We streamline that and automate it with our own AI agents, which is now happening on the XRP Ledger. It's live. We have Vet right here. He says, so you're telling me we can do agentic transactions fully on XRP? Yeah, we are building our floor, guys. This is live with T54. And if you guys missed it, I interviewed the founder of T54, Chandler Fang. Go check out that interview. Very smart guy. And what they're done right here, the XRP Ledger's agentic economy stack is coming together. Agents can complete payments using T54's X402 facilitator while using X402 Secure for risk checks and Claude.credit for agent native credit. XRP Ledger is becoming a financial layer for autonomous agents. And then we finish up this whole deal with XLS66D, the lending protocol, the ability to lend and borrow. So you can now become your own bank, and you'll be able to deploy an agent right alongside you to kind of help you with this, right? So that same AI agent is going to maybe help you conduct research. It's going to help you determine which, lending, borrowing interface or app you want to use. Maybe your agent's going to just do it for you, right? You can start to see where this goes. And when you look at how much growth we have from literally nobody using AI agents to transact to the future where most people will probably at least have one, if not a dozen agents transacting, paying bills, trading for you, delegating to different liquidity pools, arbitraging different yield opportunities and strategies. And this is no longer hypothetical. This is not, in 2030, we're going to have this done. You could start doing it now. Now, I'm too much of a dummy. You guys know this. So it's going to take me a few iterations. It's going to take me some testing and some much smarter people to probably streamline developer kits that we can kind of just copy, paste, and work with. But this is very exciting because it means more XRP getting locked up. And I don't think it's being fully realized how much XRP is going to be locked up here. Right? You're going to have XRP deployed. You're going to be, lending out your XRP over here, deploying your XRP into a yield strategy over here. Most of us have parked a little bag of XRP on a cold storage wallet and it's buried in the backyard, right? And you just end up here in a reality in the not too distant future where we're talking about billions of XRP parked behind all of that, parked behind a self-custody wallet, parked in a yield strategy, letting it be lent out over here, right? You've got billions of XRP that's going to be parked behind ETFs, with income strategies behind them. There's layers and layers and layers and so many different vaults, so many different strategies where XRP gets tied up. And remember, ultimately, this takes away XRP from the main use case of liquidity and cross-border payments. Right? If I've taken my XRP and buried it in the backyard, it can't be used. We talk about settling 14% of SWIFT, getting a chunk of the DTCC. Well, my little bag of XRP will never be used for that because I'm not selling my little bag of XRP, just like so many of you. And so this brings us to the bear market cycle for XRP concluding. And I want you to be able to take advantage of this opportunity. So while we lay out the bullish fundamentals on why XRP is about to explode, most people aren't ready for this. Before we explode, right, we get the final moment here of the bear market cycle. And so we're going to look at what Cassie Trades breaks down in this little TA update. She says the next XRP move could confirm everything. We're right here, folks. You don't want to miss this. So she says she mapped out a potential 5-wave down to 87 cents that fibs out perfectly. The Fibonacci's take us there, right? And at the time, I said that wave 1 looked completed and that XRP should come up for a wave 2. So she's talking about an Elliott wave movement, short-term movement, where we pop back up before we do this final breakdown towards 90 cents. Let's break this down, and I'm going to make this simple for everybody to understand. The key level is $1.22. The typical 618 retracement target for wave 2, that's where it takes us. If XRP starts showing exhaustion here, it keeps the entire plan aligned for continuation to 87 cents. A break above $1.30 invalidates this specific MAC plan and forces a recount. However, the 87 cent target is not truly invalidated until XRP breaks above $1.65 and flips it to support. So we don't talk about XRP bull market, right, in the short term until we break above $1.65. So, once again, all of my content is to outline the fundamentals. The fundamentals are there for the price explosion that's coming. Where are we at right now until we break above $1.65? Just hold it. Hold the rocket ships, hold the steam train emojis, bull run activated, hold the clickbait. I know we want the hopium. Let this moment finalize. Let this moment complete. And if you want to buy some more, let your bags get filled up here, folks, because it's going to be an awesome opportunity to scoop up XRP below $1 one more time. Now, she says a break above $1.30 invalidates the specific map plan and forces a recount. But we're not invalidated till we go above $1.65. So unless we break above $1.65, we're heading to 87 cents. That's what you need to know. That's what you need to take home. And the timing of this structure projects the final low into late June, early July, similar to what we witnessed last year before all-time high was reached mid-July. So basically a full 12-month bear market cycle from $3.65 down to 90 cents, capitulate, wipe out, and sacrifice all retail so nobody wants to touch this thing as the best buying opportunities are presented. Rinse and repeat. They do this every single cycle. When you've lived through and traded 3 cycles, we just don't even flinch. We just hit the buy button. Thank you very much. Load up the bags. So this is the critical moment. And here's the chart. Let's take a look. So you see that we're in the middle of this wave count where we start this 5 waves down. Okay. After this recent high of $1.29, first wave down took us back down to $1.12 again, right? Wave 2, this is the move that we're in right now, where we should be moving back up to about $1.20-ish. And then we break back down for wave 3, which takes us down to 94 cents. Might get a little wave 4 pop up to $1.08, and then you finalize wave 5 down to 87 cents, and that's it. That's the end of your bear market for XRP. That's the end of the bear cycle for this asset specifically. Other altcoins probably cooked. Maybe they never recover. But specific to XRP, which we see to be such a fantastic opportunity to pick up here at $1 and just ride it back to $5. That's a return that the traditional markets dream of. Now, many of us think that we're going to $10, $20, $50, and $1,000, right? But this very well could be the last chance to pick up XRP below $1. And this is going to happen in the next 30 days, probably. End of June, into July, we celebrate 250 years of this amazing country. Yeah, the good, the bad, the ugly. But we're going to take a moment to celebrate. And we're also going to take a moment to scoop up XRP below $1 one last time. Now, here's where I tie this back into the analysis that I shared with my Discord group this weekend. One final point. The last time we saw the carry trade unwind this aggressively, XRP did drop 35%. So let's watch out here. What we see is this was, my apologies. This is what I was trying to show you guys right here. This move. July 31st, XRP's up at 66 cents. And then over a period of about 1 week, it drops 35% down to 43 cents. Right? So if we look at where we're at right now on the XRP chart, we went up to $1.29, and about a 30% drop from there would take us down to that 90-cent range. So if we're kind of doing a repeat of the reverse carry trade unwinding in August of 2024, XRP is going to drop about 30%, which is exactly what Bitcoin did too. Right? 30 to 35% takes us right back to that range of about 90 cents. So, I'm going to be placing my orders probably this week, and I'll notify my Discord group. If you want to get tapped into our private community, sign up through Patreon to get access to Discord. We'd love to have you over there. But the final bear market cycle buying opportunity looks like it's right on our doorstep. Let me know how you're playing it in the comments down below, and smack that thumbs up on the way out for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. God bless you all. I am your host, Zach Rector. I really appreciate all of the love and support. If you want to support the channel, just remember that you can start by smashing that thumbs up for me, sharing this content far and wide, and everything else is at my website.